Billy, we'll get to you in a second, brother. You guys are crazy, man, I tell you. I'm not even where I need to be yet. And you guys are already making me feel wanted. AEW Dynamite tonight, man. The go-home show for AEW Revolution. I don't know what else AEW really could have done tonight, but I'm excited for Sunday. I'm excited for Will Ospreay. I'm excited for Sting. I'm excited for Swerve, Paige, and Samo Joe. And we got a lot to talk about tonight. AEW did a very good job with this entire Sting retirement, which culminated in a nice throwback for Sting tonight. Chris Jericho wrestles the son of a Mexican legend. Pardon me while I don't care. And Adam Hangman Page is a goddamn liar. Gotta love it, man. But do we constitute that as a heel turn? We'll talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to the OTS venue. We are walking downstairs to my mother's basement. The old fashions are fresh. The beer that's on tap is not Budweiser. And Jesse, I don't know where the fuck he is, man. We're gonna talk about it. But when I get there, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
Guys, thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for Wednesday, February 28th, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Wednesday evenings, wherever you may be. And first thing is first, before we get my goodness, man! They don't want Jesse to introduce himself, apparently. We got two $100 bombs. Billy Bomb, and Thomas Franco. Guys, thank you so very much for all your generosity. Billy says, JD and Jesse, you guys are the best. I'm glad wrestling is back. Today I found out one of my buddies I served with overseas passed away from PTSD from Iraq. No matter what, we take that back home and fight with that every day, but at least I have the OTS family. You know what, Billy? We're going to give you another round of applause, brother. I am so sorry to hear that, Billy. Thank you so very much for being here, man. You know we love you, brother. Thoughts and prayers are with you. As always, the OTS family loves you and appreciates you. And then Thomas Franco says, here's a bomb for you guys. And for Sting, bringing back memories, coming down from the rafters. Great show. Guys, keep up the great work. Thomas and Billy, thank you guys so very much for all of your support. And as always, I'm joined by my very good friend and partner on Wednesday nights, the Chi-Town Smark himself, Jesse. What is going on, man?
Buongiorno.
Man, you got the wrong hat on, man. What are you wearing there?
No, I got the right hat on tonight, man.
This isn't Thursday, man. It's Wednesday.
I got the right hat on this evening, brother.
Oh, gosh. Well, listen, I'm not even going to argue with you, man. Listen, we're going to get into the AEW Dynamite post. You know, I feel like I have to put up a fucking warning before every show. It's like, guys, if you don't like what we have to say about AEW, man, there are other less enthusiastic shows, garbage shows on Wednesday night that you could easily go and watch, but you will not get fluff from Jesse or myself on Wednesday nights. And we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this situation tonight. Dynamite wasn't a bad show. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jesse, there was a lot on this show I just blatantly didn't give a fuck about, man. I didn't care.
Yeah, I can understand that, man. I can understand that. You know, it doesn't feel like the pay-per-view is this weekend.
No. But I'm excited for it. I am.
Oh, I mean, here's the thing I'm excited about is that, you know, you don't get a lot of AEW pay-per-views.
No.
And when you do get them, more often than not, they deliver. So that's why I'm excited. So they can't take that from me. More often than not, the talent refuses to go out there and put on a bad pay-per-view show. So
yeah,
that's pretty damn good to know.
Well, the show tonight obviously revolved around Sting's final AEW Dynamite before his career-ending match on Sunday at Revolution against the Young Bucks. Obviously, his tag team partner and co-champion, Darby Allin, they will be wrestling the Young Bucks, putting those tag team titles on the line. Will Ospreay made his AEW Dynamite, I don't want to say debut because he's been on the show before, but this is the first official start date for Mr. Will Ospreay on AEW television, which is a great thing. And we will talk about the longevity here and what the plan should be for my fellow bruv, Will Ospreay. We'll get into that. And that opening segment, man, with Adam Page and Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe, AEW World Title on the line Sunday. Looks like we got a double turn over here to start the show tonight, man. So I'm going to leave it up to you. I know you watched along with me and everybody else here on the stream. What do you want to talk about? Where do you want to start first with Dynamite tonight?
Well, let's start with the opening segment, man. I mean, it's the blueprint for what we're gonna get for the title match coming up.
Yeah.
On Sunday. So what did we learn? We've all seen it. You know, Hangman came out and trolled the 5 people who actually believed that he was actually hurt. And then Swerve came out, you know, to kind of try to rub it in his face and say, hey, this is my moment. Joe came out. Then Swerve turned his back and paid attention to Joe, and it was at that moment I already knew right then and there that Page wasn't hurt. You never who turned out, you know what? And I know Swerve is watching. Who turns their back to a man with a crutch in the ring?
I'll tell you what, man. I was watching this segment, and I didn't really know where they were going with this. You know, obviously, we all knew that Paige wasn't injured because if you guys read the report from Sean Ross Sapp, basically reported, I would say, Wednesday night after Dynamite last week, early Thursday morning. The word going around when Paige got backstage is, oh, yeah, he's not hurt. He's just very good at his job. I'm like, okay, he's not hurt. But then we got the rumor that he may be off the show regardless, even though he's not injured, because of a personal family issue. I'm like, okay. Now, that adds a little wrinkle into the overall triple threat match that we're getting on Sunday. And he comes out tonight. He's got the bum ankle. And I think from the word go, I mean, if he's got a fractured ankle or broken ankle, a strained ankle, he still slipped his foot into a cowboy boot. That's number one. I mean, that's I think that's a little bit of a difficult thing to do.
Yeah. That and the limp job walking down the aisle with that crutch was not good.
So that's number one. The crutch job, number two. He gets in the ring, and then he says, I'm not going to be at Revolution. I'm not going to be able to wrestle for the world title. So I was actually, funny story, I was actually in mid-tweet about, you know, Paige is missing the show, and I was going to go on a X rant about, all right, now we got a one-on-one match because they're clearly not canceling this match. It's going to be Swerve versus Samoa Joe. And I'm like, man, I don't want Samoa Joe to lose the AEW World title already. He deserves more than 2 months as a champion. But WWE, or AEW rather, you know, I would say they would be put in they put themselves in a very difficult situation. Now, with that said, if it was a one-on-one match, I don't really see how Swerve Strickland loses that match clean at all. And I was saying, well, if it's a one-on-one match, he's definitely going to have to win the World Championship because there's no way that Swerve should be taking a fucking pinfall loss in any which way at all, no matter what. The reason why Paige is in this thing to begin with is to take the pinfall so we don't have to pin Swerve. So I'm like, all right, if he's not going to be there, then Swerve, he's going to have to walk away as the champion on Sunday, which I don't want to happen for a couple of reasons. One, Joe's reason. I think he's worth more than 2 months. And B, you know, the whole show Sunday is built around Sting's retirement. And if Swerve wins the championship, it's going to go off in the middle of the show or, you know, towards the third, I would say the 75% portion of the show. And nobody's going to really be talking about it. And he doesn't deserve that. So I felt like with everything that was going on, if they were doing that one-on-one match, they'd have to give it to Swerve, don't you think?
Yeah, so I mean, from my perspective, which, you know, for whatever it's worth, it means nothing. I've said from the word go that Joe's reign had transitional champion written all over it. And that has nothing to do with Joe. I think Joe has everything that a company needs to be world champion for a full year and running, man. Joe is incredible.
Yeah.
But it just felt like they really wanted to get the title on Swerve, and they needed someone to hold it. And for the time being, and I think that person was Joe. The build up to this match, the whole thing has been about Swerve and Hangman. And Joe, yeah, he's a legitimate badass, you know, telling both of them, and like, whatever, I'm gonna kick both of your asses, and you know, and it's all believable and all. But the heat for this match is between Swerve and Hangman. And then with the non-injury from last week, it tells me that it looks like they're gonna have Swerve pin Hangman and become world champion. And Joe, pissed off and, you know, mad that he didn't get pinned and he lost his title, Joe will be Swerve's first one-on-one title defense in the next pay-per-view. To me, that's what it looks like, man.
So you think Swerve is pinning Hangman to win the world title on Sunday?
Yeah. That's going to be my call. He's going to pin Hangman. Hangman's going to go out for whatever reason that he may need to actually go out for. Maybe there actually is a family issue. All right. Maybe he's going to take a little bit of time away. Swerve's going to feud with Joe. Hangman will come back at some point and they'll resume. But yeah, I think that you cannot beat Swerve right now. He should win. I think he will win. And I'm going to go with my original stance of, I think they're going to use Joe as a transitional champion in this spot and get the title on Swerve.
Let me ask you a question. Now that you said that, if Joe is going to lose the championship on Sunday and we get Swerve crowned as the new champion, are we bringing MJF back before Double or Nothing to come back and seek revenge on Samoa Joe for the dirty deeds he did at World's End and then move him on to Adam Cole if Adam Cole is cleared by that time, early summer?
I can't comment on that, man. Only because I have no clue what the time frame is for MJF's return. Now, if he's ready to come back by then, that makes perfect sense. That spot, maybe it does. Maybe he waits till after the next pay-per-view, because like I just said, it looks to me like it's gonna be Joe and Swerve one-on-one for the next pay-per-view. Maybe if Max is ready to come back, maybe he comes back during that main event, or maybe he comes back for the program after it. Who knows? I legitimately, I've heard. I didn't even know about the SAP story about, or whoever posted the report about Hangman possibly missing the match due to a family issue. I do nothing about it. I mean, that's what happens when you just stay off Twitter for a while. You kind of get to vet some of the ridiculous rumors, and I missed that one.
A lot of people in the chat were like, well, why did SRS report that? That's fucking lame. Everything is kind of ruined. It ruined the moment tonight for Paige. And, even Paige last week, I think we alluded to it. He was, I don't know when we talked about it. It might have been after the show, but there was a moment last week where he kind of shooed away the cameraman. Don't film me. So it was all a premeditated plan.
That's not it. That's not Sap's fault. It's everybody else's fault for listening to Sap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his job to report the stuff that he gets. We don't have to watch it. I don't put that on Sap. I didn't watch Sap this week, and so I didn't get spoiled by that.
Yeah.
So if you followed Sap and you read his tweet and you get ruined for you, shame on you. Stop following Sap. I mean, nothing against Sap, but that's what we do. If it's a rumor out, if we get some kind of credibility behind it, we report it. If you don't want to see it, don't follow him, man. You can't follow him, read what he says, and then get mad that he posted it. You read it.
Yeah.
Leave the guy alone. He's doing what he fucking gets paid to do, man. I didn't hear about it, so it didn't affect my experience at all.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting situation. I love Paige. I think Paige is great. He's been the most consistent performer for quite a while in AEW. Whether you like him or not, he's just very good at what he does. Do you consider what happened here tonight a double turn? Because I know a lot of people were definitely on Swerve's side. And with Paige, the whole issue with Paige was, he has a gripe with Swerve because he broke into his home, quote unquote, per the storyline. He infiltrated his baby's room, and he did all that. That's the motives of a heel. So Paige made it all about, not winning the world championship. He's alluded that he wants the world championship. He'd love to get that championship back, but it's more about him stopping Swerve from winning that championship. So do you look at what happened tonight as a double turn? Are you considering from this point on, especially going into Sunday, Paige now the heel and Swerve the babyface here?
So it doesn't feel like a flat out double turn per se, but it does feel like that they were just making it clear on where everyone stands here, because it was a little ambiguous for the time being. I don't think any dynamic has changed. I think they just put more emphasis on, hey, this is the heel here, and this is the guy getting sympathy here, and this is the badass champion who doesn't really care which way the wind blows. So I think they just want to get the shit straight. Hangman heel, Swerve babyface, Joe tweener. That's the vibe that I got from it, at least. I don't feel like any dynamic has changed. If you had to force me to label one before tonight's show, I would have said just that. Hangman heel, Swerve babyface, and Joe's more of a tweener. And I think tonight they just put that emphasis on it. And just in case there was a little uncertainty, here it is. I don't see like a double change here. It wasn't like that dramatic, but I think it was more of an emphasis on what the dynamic is supposed to be.
I don't see Paige being a heel here. I see what you're talking about. I just don't physically, I'm just speaking personally from my point of view. I don't want to boo Paige in this situation. I don't.
Nah.
I get why he said what he said. I get why he's done what he has done. I don't want to boo him, and neither should anybody else. I mean, Swerve was the one who infiltrated and broke into Paige's home, and Paige is doing the one thing that we all would do, and that is go above and beyond to get revenge on this guy and be that presence that will follow him anywhere to stop him dead in his tracks and be that fucking shadow over Swerve. I don't necessarily think, you may think it is, the fans may think it is. I don't think it is, because Paige has every reason to want to go and do something like he did tonight to get back at Swerve. He's just playing a little game of chess here with Swerve and wanted to get the upper hand. And it all kind of rolls into that whole story of Paige wants the title, but not more than stopping Swerve from winning the championship. So I'm just lumping that into what I've originally said about Paige during this entire storyline. I'm not looking at it as a heel turn. The crowd reaction is going to be interesting on Sunday. Obviously, Swerve is the overwhelming fan favorite here, and he's growing in popularity. But I don't necessarily consider yet, unless he does something just completely dickish, Paige a heel in this situation.
Yeah, no. So the way that I grasped it, that the feud started, Swerve being heel because he went to his house and went to his kid's room and everything like that. And Swerve did what Swerve needed to do to get himself injected in the spot where he felt he rightfully belonged. And he did that. He got Hangman. He beat him twice. And, and then he kind of just made it clear, like, hey, it was nothing personal. I respect you as a performer, this and that, but I felt like I wasn't getting what I was owed, and I'm just doing what I needed to do to get put in the position. And he did that. I feel like the anger that Hangman had for Swerve and what he did consumed him and forced him into this heel turn to the point where no one in a straight up babyface label would strike someone with a crutch behind their back when they're not looking. I mean, that's just heel.
Yeah.
That's just heel. I mean, that's you can't really paint that any other way.
But is it more heel than Swerve breaking into his home and breaking into his kid's room?
But like I said, is it a double turn? Sort of, but I think that double turn happened a while ago. I don't think it happened tonight. I think over time, Swerve went from being the heel, and then he just kind of morphed into the baby face. But tonight, they were just putting the emphasis on where everything actually stood. I think this is the position everyone was already in, but tonight they just kind of doubled down on it. Like, okay, in case you weren't fucking clear, yes, Swerve was the heel because he broke into, Hangman's house. But now at this point, Hangman's attacking him from behind when he's not looking, lying about his injury. I think Hangman's anger has kind of turned him into an asshole, and Swerve just wanted to do the right thing, and it was all head games, and now he's sympathetic. Now Hangman's the jerk, and Joe just watching them beat the shit out of each other. So I think it was a double turn, but I think that double turn came over the course of this whole feud. I don't think it happened tonight. I think tonight was just the emphasis on it.
Yeah, I could see your point of view. Let me know what you guys say in the chat. Do you think it's a double turn? Are we looking at Paige as the heel and Swerve as the babyface going into Sunday? I'm sticking with my guns. I think Joe is going to walk out and retain that championship. I think Paige is in this thing to basically stop Swerve, and he's going to eat the pinfall here or tap out, whichever way they want to go about it. And I think you may be correct, Jesse. I think we may get another match between Joe and Swerve, and that's when Swerve wins the championship. And there are rumors right now that AEW will be adding another pay-per-view in April. Fightful reported that AEW filed a trademark to claim the name Dynasty. So they have since learned that via Warner Brothers Discovery sources that the trademark is connected to a pay-per-view event or a special show targeted for the spring. Word within All Elite Wrestling is that this could be a pay-per-view in April. So that would make March, April, and May, and then June, Forbidden Door. We would get 4 pay-per-views in 4 straight months for AEW. We're going to need that streaming deal if that's the case. That's a lot of fucking money there for AEW pay-per-views 4 straight months.
I agree. That's... can't get to this monthly pay-per-view schedule and expect everyone to pay that. I mean, that's just not the current dynamic of wrestling and pay-per-view consumption these days. That's just not feasible.
No. And Dynasty, you know, just like World's End, you know, they picked that name specifically and put that show on Long Island, and it was the end of MJF. It could be Dynasty, meaning Swerve, you know, fulfilling his dynasty here. So we'll see what happens, man. A very interesting play on words by AEW. They may be doing it all over again, and we may be crowning Swerve sooner rather than later for that AEW World Championship. But it's going to be a great match. I'm a huge fan. Jesse's a huge fan of all three of these guys, and if the Swerve and Hangman matches have been an indication of anything, you're going to add Samoa Joe, you know you're in for a fucking banger. So it's going to be great on Sunday night. It will not be the main event, though. The main event will be the retirement, the career-ending match of Sting, teaming with Darby Allin, defending those AEW Tag Team Championships against the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. We will go over what happened tonight in the final build to that main event at Revolution. We'll go over Chris Jericho and his desire to wrestle another CMLL unknown, which I'm sure Jesse is uber excited to talk about. Orange Cassidy, another open challenge against Nick Wayne of the Patriarchy. And Meat Madness canceled. Tony Khan canceled it. And we have news on that as well. All lined up tonight for AEW Dynamite and the post show right here on OTS. Thank you guys so very much for joining us on your Wednesday nights. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Follow Jesse at Chi-Town Smark on X. So go and do that. If you guys want to keep up to date on everything, that is the best place to do it. Jesse and I will be live after Revolution on Sunday nights. And we will get you all the AEW that you need this weekend. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. I see 410 likes with 1,800 people in here and still counting, man. That is absolutely unacceptable. So make sure you guys go and do that. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you guys go check out all the other videos as well. There's plenty of it. That's on the homepage. Make sure you guys go get your new t-shirt. Sure, the AEW fans are going to love this, man. Oh, man, just go Google it. Now available on bonfire.com. Link is down in the description of this very video. Go and get yours today. We are selling these very well so far after a day and a half. Go and get yours today. Jesse, you're going to go get a Go Google It t-shirt, man, and upset the W fan base.
I figured mine was already in the mail for being an employee.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Listen, man, you got your own things going on over there, man. Apparently you got, when are you unleashing this new vibe, this new look on the channel, man? Is that going to be tomorrow?
It's not going to be tomorrow. I'm still working on some minor details, but there is definitely a fresh overhaul coming to the channel soon. I'm going to change quite a few things. What I'm covering, how I'm covering it. Big changes coming over to the channel. So if you have not, please go subscribe.
There you go. And make sure you guys get those super chats in. We will hang out at the end of the show. Any comments, questions, and concerns, you guys can sound off in the super chats. The longer you continue to super chat, the longer Jesse and I will be here. And the zero time we have to go play Destiny.
Oh, God.
Which I would rather be doing right now, but I'm here talking about Dynamite. Great.
Tell you what, man. They can super chat all night long. I have my controller right here. I will start fucking playing and answering super chats later on, bro.
There you go. Let's get into the show tonight. We start off with that promo from Adam Page. He comes out limping in a cowboy boot on a crutch, and not many people believed him and his injury being legit. So he made his ring entrance limping and walking, assisted by a crutch, hobbling up the steel steps. They replayed Hangman favoring his ankle after a hard landing after he flipped out of Samoa Joe's, I don't know if it was a muscle buster attempt last week, but he entered the ring And the announcers are going over the ramification if he's too injured to wrestle on Sunday. What is going to happen? So Hangman's in the ring. Fans are chanting cowboy shit. They're obviously pro-Hangman here. Hangman said this probably doesn't look like a promising start to the speech because he's out there on crutches. He said when AEW started, it was a new endeavor for his friends, but for him, it was an opportunity to rise to people's expectations and make the most of the world that was laid in front of him. He talked about winning the AEW World title in 2021. He says that's why it hurts so much to be standing in front of them like this on a crutch. He says he's not going to apologize to Joe or Swerve, but he won't be able to wrestle at Revolution. Swerve's music then played, and out comes Swerve with Prince Nana. Swerve entered the ring and told Hangman that they've gone to war over the last few months, and I might have crossed the line a couple of times, ... Maybe. Fans chuckled and laughed. He says he targeted Page because of everything he accomplished in AEW. He said he'd be lying if he didn't respect Hangman's accomplishments up until this point. Swerve said his destiny still awaits him on Sunday, and he becomes AEW World Champion. Again, he used that word destiny. It's not only my favorite video game, but AEW just trademarked the phrase or term dynasty. So we will see what happens there. We could be looking at a Swerve World Championship run starting at this new pay-per-view supposedly in April. Joe marched to the ring, and he comes out, and he's got a microphone, which is always a good sign. Joe says they're out there talking about destiny. He says he sees two enemies trying to hug it out. He says he's going to give the gift of a few truths. He called Hangman Hop Along. He said people are young, hungry contenders. So these two guys are young, hungry contenders, and that's ridiculous. He says they are hungry and accomplished, battle-tested wrestlers. He says they're hungry because he's starving their asses. Joe picked up the intensity in the promo and said whether it's one of them or both of them, he'll whip both of their asses no matter what. He dropped and tried to leave the area. Swerve stopped Joe, and he had something to say before Joe left. He says he went from unemployed to headlining pay-per-views and going from a cruiserweight to challenging for a world championship. You know, he puts it into perspective. It's really amazing how far Swerve has come. He was Isaiah Swerve Scott in NXT. He was a part of, I don't know if he was a part of the Cruiserweight Classic or in the Cruiserweight division. I don't think he was a part of the Classic, but he was definitely in the Cruiserweight division, and they gave him, you guys know the story, gave him Hit Row, and they got called up to the main roster, and within a month, Vince and Bruce fired them. So to see where he was and where he is now, I mean, if you don't respect the fucking grind and the fact that the man has worked his ass to the bone to get the position that he's in right now, I don't know what you're watching. So I respect that, and so does Jesse.
Then he blocked you for calling it that they were trash.
It was you know, I'm glad that
apparently Swerve really hates it when you dislike his friends.
Listen, I don't know what that was. I remember seeing him at the House of Glory show not too long ago. You know, we had a friendly interaction for about 10 seconds. You know, he could have not said anything to me. He could have shit on me. He could have cursed me out, but he didn't. He shook my hand, patted him on the shoulder, and he greeted me with, "You son of a bitch." And you know, that's, to me, I respect that. So he knows I'm a fan. He knows you're a fan of his work. We are huge advocates of him becoming the fucking world champion and have been for months. So, you know, what I do here, and if you're new here, Jesse knows, and Jesse's the same way, you know, we don't beat around the bush. We don't bullshit. Like, it's very easy to see what happens on the shows and what happens in the WWE at that time. Just fucking watch the show. We've been saying that to you for months, years. Just watch the show. You know, I don't need to get into it again, but it's great to see where he's come from. And whether they were upset with me or not for basically hitting the lottery, basically calling their fucking firing and termination, I didn't want that to happen. Nobody wanted him to get fired. Of all the guys in that group that we wanted to be successful, it was him. It was the other guys that I knew. Vince is not going to take a liking to this. It's not going to happen. That was my whole point there. And
to be honest, we really didn't see. I mean, even in his demented state. I really didn't see Swerve getting fired. I just figured that the rest of Hit Row would, and they would just leave Swerve by himself there. I didn't think they were gonna fire Swerve too. That was stupid.
I mean, it was just crazy. Nobody wanted that to happen. It just happened. And it was a lot of political bullshit. I said it was. I knew it was then. I'm just glad all that stuff is dropped. But, it's amazing to see where he was then, how he got fired, how he wasn't wanted there. Tony gave him the opportunity, and things got off to a rocky start here in AEW. They weren't all fucking sunflowers and rainbows here. He worked his ass off and proved to Tony that, give me the fucking ball and let me run with it. I will give you gold. And look at what happened. He got Nana. Nana got the dance. The dance got over. Swerve got over. We saw how great of a pro wrestler he was. We got this unbelievable feud that's probably going to go down as one of the best feuds in AEW history with Adam Page. Now he's trending to be world champion. I mean, it's an unbelievable ride, and we've been here for it all. It's a great thing. Love it.
Yeah. I spoke with Swerve myself. Had a nice little 20-minute convo, and I'm still blocked.
We'll see if we could get that taken care of. Maybe he gets a wind of this. It's Swerve, unblock this guy, man. Really.
I mean, I don't know.
He's done nothing wrong.
What can you do, man?
I know. Kevin Owens still got you blocked, though.
Kevin Owens. I'm starting to think Kevin Owens is an asshole.
Which
I know he is, which is the reason why I love the guy. That's why I'm pissed that he fucking blocked me.
You know why Big Show hasn't blocked me, bro? Because I'm a Hunter main in Destiny. You're a fucking Titan.
Oh, I am. I think I kind of switched from Hunter main to Titan main. Titans get all the cool gadgets in their kit. I like it.
I know. I don't like it, but we got to live with our fucking basic Hunter abilities,
Yeah.
So he's going on about going from a cruiserweight to challenging for the world title. He said he broke into a wrestling school and left an 18-year-old child lying in a bloody heap and trespassed another man's home and threatened his infant child. This is Nick Wayne and Adam Page he's talking about. I will do whatever it takes to become world champion. I like the fact and I like the image that he said those things and that he would go to those lengths to be world champion. It just puts emphasis on what he's saying. I will do whatever it takes to become world champion. He says he's not just a career maker, he's a career changer. He said after he takes the title from him, Joe won't know what to do next. He said maybe he can go back to commentary wearing a poncho again. So Joe got upset. Swerve says he's on the verge of making history, and he vowed to win the title on Sunday before breaking into whose house? Swerve's house. Hangman, all of a sudden, no injury, removes the crutch, swung the crutch as Swerve has his back turned, and Joe smiled as Hangman knocked Swerve out with the crutch. Excalibur mentioned that he was lying the entire time. No shit, Excalibur. Thank you for the great presentation there. I really appreciate it. Excalibur said it'll be a three-way match after all. Now, I want to ask a question. Listen, before I even ask the question, I will say, I thought the promos were great. Fire from Swerve, Page trying to get sympathy with the injury. Joe's always great. I mean, that goes without saying on the microphone. But AEW did a very good job at squeezing whatever remaining juice they have in this build going into Revolution with this injury angle that took place last week and bled on into this week. I enjoyed it, and I thought it gave the match the push, the extra push that it needed, and it told the stories and wrapped them up nicely. But I have to ask Jesse, was this necessary for the injury angle to be faked the way that it was tonight to get to this point for this match going on Sunday?
So it's hard to answer that right now until we find out what we're getting in that match on Sunday. Because the emphasis for this whole segment was, I mean, at least to me, that Hangman has lost it and he's desperate and he's gonna do whatever, and he's just stooped to attacking and he's stooped to faking an injury and attacking a man when he had his back turned. So, well, why did that need to happen? Well, let's see what happens in the match, and then that might all make sense, because apparently, Hangman doesn't have the confidence to win this match straight up. Or maybe he's just, because this can't just all be retaliation from breaking into his house. That was fucking years ago, it feels like. So at this point, Hangman's just trying to get the advantage to win because he just wants to win so bad. So to me, that was the point of the whole segment. I'm going to fake this injury to try to get an advantage, to put a crippling on you. So come this Sunday, I can win. Because apparently he's not worried about Joe. He's more worried about Swerve, which is pretty telling within itself. Joe's the fucking champion. You should be worried about Joe.
Yeah, for sure. And it goes back to what you said earlier. We got 3 dimensions here. We got 3 separate characters here. Joe's the badass champion. Doesn't give a fuck who he wrestles. He's going to fucking plow through them all.
Yep.
And then we got Swerve, who's the fan favorite here. And then Paige, with this faking of the injury, it does solidify him as the bad guy going into this match. And I think that's what they were going for here. And that's why they did what they did.
Yeah, I think that was simply it.
Yeah.
Maybe they figured out and they laid out their match. Maybe they got with the producers and laid out what they're going to do. And maybe they determined that if we establish this dynamic before we go into this will make what we want to do make a lot more sense. So that's why I'm like, let's see what they do on the pay-per-view. It might make more sense.
Very excited about the match. I think it's going to be a banger. And I am predicting Joe to walk out as the AEW World Heavyweight Champion on Sunday. The Young Bucks, they arrived in the arena and they exited their SUVs. They were wearing fancy suits. Renee Paquette was waiting to interview them in the backstage area. She went right to the question of what was the meeting about with Ric Flair. Nick Jackson said the meeting went great, and that's all he will say on that matter. Matt Jackson said if she's seen Sting so far in the building. She said no. Matt says they want to see him and thank him in person for all his contributions to the company. Sure thing, man. Sure thing. Most importantly, we really want to conduct his exit interview. Nick and Matt had baseball bats. They went looking for him, calling out, "Stinger! Sting, where you at?" So they wanted to conduct his exit interview, Jesse. Meanwhile, they looked like they were about to bash his skull in and dump him in the East River and pull some mafia shit on Sting.
This is not conduct becoming of an EVP. So I'm not sure what this is. No, I don't think it is.
I think this is very EVP-esque, bro.
I don't think this is conduct becoming of a company EVP.
This is the type of environment I would love to work in.
Yeah, really. You got a no call, no show with these guys walking around with bats in the back room.
That's a $500 fine right there. You're 5 minutes late, $1,000 deducted. Sure thing.
I'll tell you what, man. This EVP Young Bucks gimmick is it's taking shape. All right, it's taking shape, and I think as this goes along, this is gonna get a little more interesting. I like what they're doing with this.
Yeah, this is the best. I said this for weeks now. Personally, from my perspective, I think this is the best presentation of the Young Bucks so far in all 5 years of AEW.
Yeah,
I think it's great. The open of the show, we get right into action here. We got the announcers narrating highlights from Bryan Danielson versus Jun Akiyama on AEW Collision.
What? Wait.
Who?
Wait. So what do you call it? Is that a
Jun Akiyama, bro?
What do you call? Is that a recap? Is that a recap?
What I'm hearing from some of the people, some of the barbacks are telling me in the venue, bro, that it was highlights from Saturday night's Collision show.
Can we get O'Shea on the phone? Can we?
Wait a minute, man. We've been calling this shit out well before O'Shea. Give me a fucking break here, man. I'm not giving
O'Shea's gonna get all the fucking credit here.
I'm not giving him any fucking. I'll give him some credit. Because he's got the bigger following, obviously, who he is.
Right. I'm glad someone with a bigger following than us made the point that we made, and now attention's being brought to. Great. I just want the product to get better. I don't give a fuck who gets the credit for it.
Who? Jun Akiyama.
What? Bless you. What?
Go Google it.
Go fucking
Google it. I don't know who the fuck he is. What the fuck do I care? Anyway, Jun Akiyama is an idol, a legend, a hero in Japan of Eddie Kingston's, and Bryan disrespected him, gave him a low blow on Saturday night's Collision. I didn't really care for the match. It was fine. Obviously, it was a way to build up anger and intensity going into the match with Bryan and Eddie Kingston on Sunday's Revolution show for the Continental title. So we got some highlights from Saturday night. I'm glad AEW is listening to us lowly podcasters, man. Wow. Holy shit. It only took about fucking 3 years.
Listening to your fans.
Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson, and Claudio Castagnoli against FTR, Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, and Eddie Kingston. Now, before we get into the match, I have a couple of things to say, okay? And then I'll give Jesse the floor here. Number one, I thought it was a fine match. Fine match. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it. You want professional wrestling on a Wednesday night prime time. These are the guys I want on the show. I love everybody involved here. 6 of the world's best at what they do, okay?
I need to screenshot my text thread to the world on what you said about this match.
I'm gonna get there. I'm not gonna lie to everybody.
Oh, okay.
The world saw 6 great professional wrestlers in the open of the show, okay? Now, I'm gonna give you a negative here, and you could sit there and agree with me or not. It's a great match. I have no problem with it, but I found myself, Jesse, absolutely bored out of my fucking mind with all 6 of these guys, talking to myself, asking for one simple thing here. What is the fucking story of this match, and why should I care? Now, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into that. I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, this reeks of Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. This is basically 2 AEW Revolution matches in one taking place on the go-home show, and we're only going to get some of the same shit on Sunday night because Bryan's wrestling Kingston and FTR's wrestling the Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. So we got 2 matches that are happening on Sunday, basically in a 6-man tag here, happening 2 days before the pay-per-view, man. Why would I care about anything on Sunday if we're getting it here? And they did nothing to really enhance anything that's going to happen on Sunday.
More importantly, if we're getting it here, how are we supposed to care more about it on Sunday?
I don't know.
Why would I pay money to see it again on Sunday? Look, man, this, and I said this too. This was really weird for me because everybody in that ring, all 6 guys, to me, 6 of my personal favorite current active wrestlers in the world today.
Yeah.
All right. And I don't understand why I'm watching this match and I wasn't digging it. It's just, I'm watching them do the things that they do fantastically. And like, look at that. That was a nice spot. Look at that little back and forth. No sell. Great. Loving it. At the end of the day, it just had no heat to it. All right.
No.
So quite simply, it had no heat to it. And these guys, it felt like they were trying to force heat into this feud too. And it just fell flat for me. I mean, I don't know what it is. The match wasn't breaking down any doors. I mean, let me be honest, it felt like it never really got out of second gear. But at the same time, I don't understand why these guys who are all enjoy all of their work, all of them, no exceptions. But this match just wasn't doing it for me.
No, and you're absolutely correct. There's no heat here. And listen, I'm not ragging on the people who just want to watch professional wrestling. AEW's got the best professional wrestling in the United States. I'm not telling you they don't. But at the end of the day, when you have FTR, when you have someone like Dax and Cash in that ring, Jon Moxley and Claudio, who we know can tell stories, they may be telling stories through what they do in the ring, but there was no story coming into this with those 4 guys. Nothing. And stop trying to manufacture a story. Stop trying to book a story that Tony Khan has clearly not given us. The only thing that had a story here was Bryan and Kingston. That was it. They have a story going into the pay-per-view. The 4 other guys do not. Zero reason to care. Zero heat. There's nothing on the line. I don't know what the fuck they're fighting for. What are they fighting for? I have no idea. Two of the greatest tag teams on the fucking planet wrestling with nothing on the line. Tell me why I should care. Tell me why I should care outside of a reason of, well, it's great professional wrestling. Don't you love professional wrestling? Yes. The wrestling is 50% of it. Where's the fucking story?
Yeah.
Where's the story? It's not doing it for me. I'm sorry. I don't believe I'm saying that in 2024 on an AEW program, on a pro wrestling program, that I don't give a shit about what FTR does, but I don't give a shit about these four guys feuding and this match on Sunday. I don't. And the fact that we got it on Dynamite last week, we got it again this week, and then we're getting it again on Sunday? Come on, man. You're really stretching me fucking thin to not give a fuck at all. 3 weeks in a row. I'm sorry, man.
I could appreciate what Bryan and Eddie are doing. I mean, at least to me, it's clear as day that Bryan's on a mission to do everything he can to put Eddie over, and he will, and that's how good Bryan is. He's trying to get Eddie over, even more over as champion, give him more credibility, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So that's great. That's fine. But how FTR and Mox and Claudio got involved, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what's going on right there. I mean, is the winner of that match going to be number one contenders or something, or what's happening? I'm not sure. I mean, where's all this beef coming from? You know, Bryan's been calling out Eddie for the longest of times, everything else, and Eddie has been coming up from that. It's great. I would love to see it, but all in all, yeah, I'm just a little unmotivated and a little, just don't really care about this, man.
All right, they're fighting for what? Ranking position? Okay, that's not really a story. Rankings
don't matter anymore. We saw that tonight.
No, they don't matter at all. The AEW blew that shit up. I was going to give them fucking 6 months. They barely lasted 3 weeks with this fucking shit. They're fighting for what? Ranking position? I'm sorry, geeks. These AEW, pro AEW pages on X that all they do is fucking tweet all day long because Elon's paying out. Give me a fuck. There's no story here. There's none.
Now, look, don't get us wrong. The ranking system can absolutely be a tool to use to garner heat into a feud.
Yes.
But they're not using it. No one is saying, we're ranked number 4. I think we should be ranked number 1. These assholes are number 1 and they're not shit. When we get done winning, we're going to be number 1. So, no, we're number... That's fighting over the rankings. There being a ranking system and these guys fighting and the fans connecting it, that's not using the ranking system.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to get to Nick Wayne. Believe me. Another thing here, and this is a PSA to anybody in AEW listening to me, whether you like me, whether you like Jesse or hate us. I have to say something. I adore Eddie Kingston to the fucking end of the world. I love that man. Fucking great.
Eddie's
but
a fucking
what
awesome dude.
The fuck are you doing with the Continental Championship? What the fuck are you doing with that title? They have done absolutely nothing with that championship to warrant 8 weeks of us wasting. That's because that's what I'm looking at now, looking back at it, wasting our time watching Dynamite and Collision 8 weeks to find a winner for the first ever Continental Championship. What the fuck have you done with that title to make it mean something on Eddie Kingston's shoulder? Absolutely zero. You've made the title, and Jesse and I have talked about this. You've made the title feel just as worthless as the international title. And I'm not going to say the TNT title because Christian Cage did away with the fucking open challenges, which actually helped enhance the goddamn fucking title. Now you're looking at the Continental title. It's just like everything else. They are as worthless as the fucking Trios championships. That is ridiculous. What are you doing here? AEW really needs to solve their problems of making championships feel important and distinguishing what a fucking title is from the other championships in the company. This title does not need to be defended in open challenges. It does not have to be defended every week. There needs to be stories revolving around it. I mean, you got to go through 8 weeks of a fucking tournament just to win the fucking thing, and then you want to treat it as irrelevant? What, am I losing my fucking mind?
No, I thought they were combining these titles. Why is he still walking around carrying 3 separate belts?
I don't know.
Like, can they be separate? Can they be lost individually? If they're unified, I thought they had one united title coming for this or something.
I don't know.
This guy's carrying more titles around than Roman fucking Reigns. What are we doing here?
You have a roster of how many fucking... They gotta be eclipsing 200 employed wrestlers. Easy. You mean to tell me that you can't come up with a ranking system to separate all the titles? The rankings don't matter if all the fucking champions are in the fucking rankings. What are you doing? None of them have separate rankings. Samoa Joe should have his own ranking system.
Yes.
There should be a heavyweight division. Orange Cassidy should have his own ranking system. There should be an international fucking division. Eddie Kingston should have a continental division. What are we doing here? Why am I not being paid giving you guys ideas that I'd give Tony Khan as I look him dead in the face? Why?
Yeah,
Nobody does anything to make the show better, and then we're the fucking ones who complain because we want the show to be better.
Yeah, the ranking system shouldn't be a prop. It should be a tool to use to garner interest in all of these different matches that will otherwise be meaningless. You need to use it as a tool to help get each and every last single match that's on TV without a title on the line can instantly have some kind of meaning behind it if you put some emphasis on that fucking ranking system.
Ridiculous. You want to put Brian Keith in a match against Eddie Kingston. All right, put him in the fucking rankings. Give him his own rank. You want Nick Wayne in the fucking ranking system. Give him his own rank, Orange Cassidy. The fuck are we doing? We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get to that one.
Holy shit. Please, make the ranking system fucking useless. That's what you did. But nobody will say anything because Tony Khan's going to do what Tony Khan wants to do. I've said my piece. I've been saying this for months. And nobody fixes the problem. This match meant nothing. Nothing. Outside Bryan and Eddie Kingston. Nothing. Danielson berated Kingston on commentary. I guess after the match was over, after he tapped him out, he passed out. Not tapped out. Passed out in the label lock. And he was unconscious. So Bryan, Jesse, he makes Eddie Kingston pass out. I said that I'd see Bryan winning this championship because Bryan is supposedly slowing down come May. He made a promise to his daughter. I don't see that happening. But with him basically putting the label lock on Kingston and making him pass out, I don't see Eddie Kingston going into Sunday and then losing again. No. I would say Eddie Kingston's walking out Sunday as the champion.
Easily. Yeah. This go home segment was Pro Wrestling 101. And not only that, just the way that Bryan's been going at Eddie, dude. I mean, having Bryan go at him and just call him a piece of crap and a bum and lazy and this and that. There is no other way for this feud to end but Eddie conquering the shit-talking Bryan. It's if Eddie loses that, man, my God, he's fucking buried, man.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to the Bryan and Kingston match. I mean, every match that they've had has been great. But the FTR Blackpool Combat Club, I mean, I'll watch, but it's going to be very difficult for me to pick my head up from my phone when there's no story there. Oh, but they're fighting for who's better. Yeah, all right, who's better? Fuck out of here.
Who better?
Yeah, who better? Cage. Being that my guy, Dr. Evil Genius, is in the chat, we're going to talk about the Meat Madness match because he brought it up. Meat Madness is canceled. By the way, we got no Wardlow tonight. After that great promo, we got no follow-up to Wardlow on this show tonight because it was so fucking great last week. What do you think they did? Left him in catering. Great job. Meat Madness. Wardlow was supposed to wrestle Will Hobbs and Lance Archer. I don't know who else was supposed to be added, but Tony Khan put a tweet out on social media and said Meat Madness at Revolution is canceled because of injuries and other reasons. Now, Lance Archer, Will Hobbs, and Wardlow are now in a championship scramble match, whatever the fuck that's going to be. Apparently, the winner of this match is going to become the number one contender for the AEW Championship. Great. I wonder who's winning that one. But all the guys that were originally announced for Meat Madness are in this match. So clearly the guys that he was talking about, Jesse, the injuries are guys that he was maybe planning on adding to the original Meat Madness. So now Wardlow does not have to beat the Meat. He will win the Scramble match, and he will get a championship match via that way and get into a match with Samo Joe.
I can't make sense of this. I don't know. I would love to try. I don't know.
Well, we got Meat Madness canceled, which is a good thing because Wardlow is better than that, especially after the promo we cut. B, Will Hobbs should not be putting anybody else over, man. It's about time we start booking Will Hobbs like a fucking savage and stop using him to enhance others. We are well past that now. Lance Archer, I don't know what the fuck we're doing with him. He's got this huge presence, and he's nothing more than a fucking 6'8" jobber. So, who else were you going to put in there, Tony? Miro? Who else was in this Meat Madness match? How many other big guys they got? Brian Cage, Miro. How many other guys were going to be in this match?
Who knows? Where is Miro?
Who the fuck knows? Who knows? He may be on the plane to Stamford, Connecticut as we fucking speak. I don't know.
Why is that constantly a thing? Why is that constantly a where's Miro? Where's Miro? Where's Miro?
All-Star Scramble it is. Great. We went from fucking Meat Madness to something that should be on the menu at fucking Denny's. What are we doing? Jericho's in this thing. We got Brian Keith, Dante Martin, or Darius, whatever. Dante Martin and Penta fighting for the last position in this match. How the fuck did we get here? Why is this on the show? We're looking at 9 matches on the show. You gotta add a 10th?
Oh my God, yeah, it's gonna be a long night, man.
Triple H is on the phone with Miro as we speak. Yeah. Just let him go. You let Andrade walk. Just let him out. Meat Madness. Brody King. Where's Brody? Is Brody going to be in this thing?
You can't have Meat Madness without Brody. Is the updated?
All jobbers. Let me see. Do we have any news on this fucking this All-Star Denny's Scramble?
Let's see.
Huh? Let me see. Who's in this thing? I don't know.
We got Jericho. We got Jericho, Hobbs. We got Wardlow. We got Archer. We got Hook, and we got Cage. And we got 2 more to come.
I'm sure somebody will be announced on Rampage and then somebody on Collision. 8. Is it a battle royal? Is it a gauntlet match? What is it?
It's a scramble.
The fuck does that mean? I like my eggs scrambled with a little dash of pepper.
It is eggs. Benedict, I don't know. And what does the winner get again?
A number 1 contender for the AEW World title.
What about the rankings?
Who?
Okay. All right.
What is that?
All right. If I'm ranked number 1 or 2, and one of these ass clowns get a number 1 contendership from winning 1 match, I'm mad. Like, what am I doing here? How did I get passed over because of 1 random match? Did they even qualify to get in this match?
Maybe, I don't know how we can have an all-star scramble without JD McCafe in the match. Can we get him? JD McBiscuit? Can we get him? Can we get him in the all-star scramble? I mean, he certainly ain't wrestling Gunther for the Intercontinental title. Gotta do something with him. He's the fucking guy with the big head in Judgment Day. Anyway. Yeah, the winner gets a free breakfast at Denny's. I take that. I prefer IHOP.
In a while.
Who?
I have Denny's in a while, man.
Yeah, Denny's is shit. You ever walk into a Denny's, man, it just feels so greasy and so fucking disgusting, man.
Not by my house.
No?
Denny's used to be fine. I mean, the breakfast was fine. It wasn't the best of anything, but it was fine.
Anyway, we got another video package. Oh, man, I think Tony Khan should double my pay.
Woohoo!
We went from free to what? Buy me a fucking coffee at least if you're going to steal my fucking ideas. Chris Jericho got a video package of his CMLL days. And he's wrestling Atlantis Jr. tonight. Who? Atlantis Jr. Sounds like a fucking island. It sounds like a hotel resort somewhere in Mexico, Jesse. Is that what it is? Probably. Atlantis Jr.?
Underwater city of Atlantis.
Sounds like I'm paying for a hotel suite. Fuck. Who is he? Jericho says he was mentored by Atlantis, this guy's father. As tonight, he'll be facing Atlantis Jr. Renee Paquette was backstage with Jericho, who said 30 years ago he was thrown into the deep end with names like Negro Casas, Silver King, Atlantis, and El Dandy. Jericho said he wanted to repay the favor and teach Atlantis Jr. some lessons, including violence only a Corazon de Leon can do. I know you're excited, bro.
I'm trying to keep the excitement down, man.
Your enthusiasm is showing right through the television screen, man.
Trying to keep it down, bro.
Who is it? Go Google it. I got the shirt ready. What the fuck you asking me for? Who's Atlantis? I don't fucking know. At least they gave you a video package on it, so we can't complain. But I could sit here and tell you I don't give a shit. You know, I got a question. I seriously, again, for someone who's watching over in the W, why didn't we save this for Forbidden Door? Are we getting Forbidden Door in February? What are we doing? I mean, they wrestled like this was a pay-per-view match. It wasn't a bad match. Jericho was on point tonight. Atlantis Jr. was on point tonight. Don't you think this would be best served for a Forbidden Door match? If this was so important, maybe they build some extra layers to this story. If he wrestled his father back 25 years ago? Or maybe that's not the case. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm too negative, Jesse.
When is Forbidden Door? Let's start there.
Somewhere in the middle of June, man. They're waiting on a date because they would rather the Mets not be playing at Citi Field. I told you this already.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. They don't want the Mets playing at Citi Field the week of Forbidden Door.
Who listens to you?
I'm just making an assumption.
Well, the schedule is already done. So what are they going to do?
Well, tell me how you feel about Atlantis Jr.
I thought it was a fantastic match, man.
Really? I could see the bullshit coming right out of your fucking nose.
Bro, look, man.
Why are we booking this? Honestly, for everybody over there, why the fuck are we booking this fucking 2 days before the pay-per-view? I have to genuinely ask a question in my own way. Who the fuck cares? Who's booking the show? Is Tony Khan booking the show, or is Chris Jericho booking the show? Because it sounds like Jericho wanted this match, and Tony Khan basically said, all right, Chris, whatever the fuck you want, here you go.
Look, maybe this match was your cup of tea, you know? I mean, like, if you're watching this and you enjoyed it, and it's not a slight on you. I mean, I can understand the guy can, you know, operate in the ring. I get it. I just don't know who these guys are, which makes it even that much harder for me to give a shit. I mean, I can't. A Jericho promo is not gonna make me care about the match. No. It's just not. All right, so I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say, man. I mean, this is not the kind of match that I was expecting or hoping for on a go-home show to a pay-per-view. It just wasn't it for me. And it was a long match. How long was this match?
They went at least. They went at least, I would say, almost 15 minutes.
I thought it was like 20. You know, I just wasn't interested in it, man. I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to, like, you know, just shit on it. I mean, I'm sure the match was fine, but in the grand scheme of the things that I actually do give a shit about on the show, I mean, I would rather have seen that. I would rather have seen Tony Storm tonight and Deonna Purrazzo.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
Who were obviously omitted from the show tonight, by the way. No Wardlow, no Deonna, no Tony, no. But we got fucking Hotel Resort in Mexico, Junior.
Yeah, I would much rather have seen Tony Storm
Great job.
tonight.
I don't give a shit what Jericho says. I don't give a shit what video package you show or what highlights you show from fucking 80 years ago.
Yeah.
This is a go-home show for the pay-per-view. I don't know why this is on my television screen. And why is Forbidden Door important? It doesn't look so forbidden now if we're getting Forbidden Door every other week on Dynamite.
That's a good point. You know,
What's going to be forbidden to be? You know, I was thinking about this the other day. You know what's going to be forbidden? We got Dolph Ziggler and Matt Riddle winning New Japan championships. We're going to see them on Forbidden Door.
Yeah, but maybe this the one time of the year when Raw superstars go one-on-one with SmackDown superstars.
Yeah, it's going to be Dolph and Matt Riddle, ex-WWE guys, coming on over to AEW for the night to wrestle on Forbidden Door because CMLL ain't going to be so forbidden anymore if we're doing it every fucking week.
It's not special anymore.
And who's over there in New Japan that I actually give a shit about? David Finlay? Who's over there? Sonata?
Not much of anyone. They're all coming to AEW.
They're all signed by AEW.
No, we got Ospreay.
Naito?
How long before we get Okada?
2 weeks.
See?
AEW supposedly doing big business. Telling you. We're going to get into that discussion right here. Big business. Will Ospreay. Big business. He is now All Elite officially. He is on Dynamite. The start of his AEW run begins tonight. He's wrestling Konsuke Takeshita at the pay-per-view. The one thing I am looking forward to most on Sunday is that match. It is going to be, by the end of the night, we may be looking at the match of the year for all of pro wrestling with those two guys. Ospreay's out there. He said he is dressed in a green jumpsuit like Kermit. He had his luggage lost. They found it. And he reminded everybody that he's got to win over Orange Cassidy, Kenny Omega, and Chris Jericho. He said the territory might be different, but he's ready to pick up where he left off as a member of the Don Callis family. And then right on cue, Don Callis' music hits, and out comes Don Callis with Will Hobbs and Konsuke Takeshita. So he comes out there and he is on the microphone, is Don Callis. So Don Callis says there's nothing he likes more than a Don Callis family reunion. Fans booed him. He says when he thinks about the talent, it's an embarrassment of riches. Callis says he enjoyed Ospreay talking about all those things you and I talked about together. Ospreay rolled his eyes for Don Callis taking kind of partial credit for this. Callis says they're going to top what they did by having match of the year or even match of the decade on Sunday with Takeshita. Callis said Takeshita versus Ospreay is like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, or like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, going hard at each other in practice and then winning championships. Is that true, Jesse?
Yeah, sounds about true to me.
Okay. Just want to know from a fellow Chicago Bull fan.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Said the winner of their match will be the Don Callis family. And that's the whole story here, folks. Don Callis doesn't want to lose, so we put two Don Callis family members against each other so he can claim that the Don Callis family won. He told them to shake hands. They stared at each other. Ospreay extended his hand. Takeshita looked closely at him, shook his hand. They smiled. Takeshita held on to Ospreay as Ospreay tried to walk away. Ospreay returned the gesture and did the same thing. Things got more intense. Callis said, "This is great, guys." Fans are chanting for Ospreay. Ospreay stayed in the ring as Callis, Hobbs, and Takeshita all left. Ospreay was shaking hands with fans in the front row as he makes his official start with AEW. No matter how ridiculous the story is here, Jesse, I'm looking forward to this match. And I said this on social media. And again, I'm going to address AEW in this instance. And please, I'd love to hear what everybody else has to say here. Will Ospreay coming into AEW is a huge get for Tony Khan and the company. I don't know what they plan to do with this man. I don't know what their vision is. I don't know what their long-term booking is going to be with Will Ospreay. But they got Ospreay and rumored, which I think we all assume, Mercedes is coming in and Okada is coming in as well. Now, I don't expect Okada to be there every week, nor would I book him every week. I would definitely have him kind of have that Bryan Danielson likes, schedule and aura about him. But with Will Ospreay, Jesse, I mean, Will Ospreay needs to be on the fucking show. Not wrestling every week, but he needs to be on the show every week. He needs to be the face of the company. He needs to be booked like the face of the company. He needs to be a fucking superstar by the year's end. He's already a superstar, but you know what I mean. Like American soil, American pro wrestling. This guy should be the face of this fucking company and the face of Dynamite by the end of the year. I don't know what their vision is, but long-term booking needs to start with Will Ospreay. He needs to be in feuds. He needs to be in stories. He needs to be all over the show. And I hope to God AEW and Tony Khan don't blow through these fucking dream matches after dream match after dream match and treat this guy like a fucking toy instead of a fucking megastar. Because I'm going to keep a close eye on what they do with not only Ospreay, but Mercedes as well. The same thing goes for her. If this woman isn't on every fucking show, and I'm not talking about wrestling, she's not all over the fucking show, and you're not building the shows around her and Ospreay, what are we doing here? This is the first step in AEW giving us long-term booking. Stories that take us week to week. Enough of this fucking wrestling and this dream match shit every fucking week. We need more substance, and it starts with Will Ospreay.
Well, so Ospreay said that he's here full time.
Yeah.
And if you think that we don't remember and will bring up every damn thing you tell us, and you're sadly mistaken. So we're expecting a full-time Will Ospreay. Now, Okada, I don't know, from what I'm hearing from Okada, he's supposedly diving, both feet into AEW. So I don't know, why would we get a part-time Okada? I mean, what is he doing? Is he going to travel, or is he going to stay here for a bit? I'm not sure what his plans are, but I'm not expecting a part-time Okada either, man. I mean, if you signed here, you signed here. I mean, he wasn't part-time in New Japan. Why would he be part-time here?
I don't know.
So I'm expecting full-time wrestlers, man. We don't need a part-timer. We really don't. So what I'm hoping for is these two to be very complicit in daily feuds with Kenny Omega, with Hangman, with Swerve, Title. I mean, Jay White. I'm expecting some dream matches and dream feuds, and we can't do that with part-timers. So
no.
I'm hoping Okada's full-time. I'm holding Will Ospreay to being full-time like he told us. And we just have bangers that we're expecting. We're expecting Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay again. I mean, we need it. We got Bryan still here. I mean, we got Mox. I mean, we got bangers to do, man. So this should be a good, again, this summer should be lit for AEW. But should be and what we're going to get are two different fucking things because of the creative process, man. We all have our doubts. We all have our doubts.
Someone said in the chat, and I absolutely agree, Will Ospreay should be booked like Cody Rhodes for AEW. Yes, I absolutely agree. He's got that about him. And if we're not doing that, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Seriously. And honestly, how many of you even trust Tony Khan to do the right thing creatively with anybody he brings in the level of a Will Ospreay? I mean, look at what they did with Jay White. Jay White got off to a rocky start. He settled into his role. He was having a nice string of momentum during the Punk era of Collision. They gave him the Continental Classic to do whatever the fuck he wanted. And now he's in a group called the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. And he's scissoring with fucking Max Caster and Anthony Bowens and Billy Gunn. And he's holding the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team championships, which right now are as worthless as the fucking trash that I have to take out to the garbage before I go to bed tonight. I mean, that's the extent of Jay White. And people are trying to tell me, oh, well, they're leading to a breakup and they're leading to a feud with the Acclaimed. Not everybody could be on top, Mr. JD. Oh, okay. I would rather him not be on the fucking show instead of what they got him doing now. Do you trust Tony Khan to take Will Ospreay and book him better? Look at what he did with Jay White. As far as I'm concerned, Will Ospreay and Jay White are neck and neck about what they are and who they are and what they can do in that ring and what they can do on that microphone. What makes Jay White any fucking different? Not everybody can be on top. Great. Maybe you should stop signing fucking everybody that becomes a free agent. Or maybe you should split the fucking rosters and give us dedicated rosters on Wednesday and Saturday so that we could get everybody in the fucking prime position that they need to be in. Jay White is not where he needs to be. Do you trust Tony Khan to take it with Will Ospreay? God, no, I don't.
He is not. Imagine Will Ospreay hanging around with the Bang Bang Scissor Gang.
You got to be out of your fucking mind.
I mean, just
holy shit.
The messed up part is the Acclaim should not be a meme right now in AEW. They are, but they should not be, man. They had all the potential. They had all the charisma. They had the rocket pack. They had it all. And it was dropped for some unknown reason. I don't know. They didn't get stale. They didn't get bored. They didn't do something but they didn't do anything. Creative killed the Acclaim. They were the top shit. They were the best fucking tag team in the company. Now they're nothing.
You gave them trios titles to do what with? To do what with? To kill them? Is that what we did? I had no reason why they took them off of the House of Black. Still trying to figure that one out. Don't get it. I don't get where the Acclaim's fall from grace happened. I don't understand it.
I don't know.
Why did we take the Bullet Club that was fucking red hot put them with a dead group in the Acclaimed? Why?
They were.
Does anybody think this is good TV? I'm genuinely curious. Does anybody in AEW think that what they're doing with the Bang Bang Scissor Gang is good TV? Because I could tell you what, all the fucking complaining that I got back, oh, well, Jay White can't be on top yet, all this other bullshit. I mean, is it good television? The answer is no, it's not. It's fucking garbage. Where is it leading to? A unification match of six-man tag team titles. Great. Do the six-man tag team titles mean anything? The Bullet Club was one of the hottest acts in the company. And then you kill them dead cold. No, but I'm supposed to sit here and be like, yeah, it's leading to something. All right, when the fuck is it over?
Yeah.
So we can move on. The Gun Club was red hot. They were finally starting to get momentum on their own, and you put them with these fucking guys, and we love the Acclaimed. Creative clearly don't.
No, you can't lose their momentum and then saddle other people with them in an effort to regain the momentum. Now you're just bringing down whatever momentum that the other entity had, which is exactly what happened.
No, but I don't like the company. If I didn't like the company, I wouldn't be fucking complaining about what's bad. Fix it. I don't want to sit here and complain. But clearly it's bad. Would you rather me not tell you?
I think that's what a lot of people actually want. I think
Jay White is funny. Ha ha ha. The fuck are you talking about? Jay White is a world-accomplished pro wrestler on the level of Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. And he's out there doing bank scissoring.
When you come on here and you say things that you believe to be true and it doesn't vibe with what other people think, they would feel better if you came on here and lied and just said what they were thinking. But then they'd be quick to call you fake. Well, you're fake. You're not being real. You're not being honest. But I'm agreeing with what the majority is saying. So which one do you, I mean, I don't want you guys want us to be honest, or you just want to hear what you want to hear? Because when we're honest, you get mad. And when we just blow sunshine, then you get mad about that too.
I don't understand how anybody has a problem with my upfront and honest delivery here. I don't get it. You do realize that Jay White was gifted the AEW World Championship. They had MJF as the longest reigning world champion in company history, and they took the belt off of him for a month for Jay White to parade around as a fraudulent champion while MJF was still the champion. Now he's holding the 6-man tag team titles and scissoring a dead tag team? How does that make any sense? Do you know the fucking process of rebuilding to get Jay White back to that? I got somebody telling me, oh, Jay White can fucking ebb and flow in any situation. What are you, fucking out of your mind? Yes, because the Acclaimed ebb and flowed into a different situation and came out great on the other end. You people are fucking mental, man. Mental. I'm still waiting for the Acclaimed. I'm still waiting for Keith Lee. Still waiting for the House of Black. Who else am I waiting for?
Oh, Malachi had a singles match.
Yeah, where? In his gymnasium?
No. This one was on Collision.
I saw it.
It was, bro, it happened.
I saw it.
It happened.
Who did he wrestle? Brian Keith?
I don't fucking know. One step at a time, man. I can't keep track of little details like who he wrestled.
Jay White deserves better, man. No, but yeah, let me go all in on Will Ospreay and trust the process of Tony Khan and his writing team with Will Ospreay. It's gonna have a banger match with Takeshita, no doubt about it. I mean, Takeshita could have a fucking 5-star match with my fucking hoodie if he wanted to.
Easily.
Stop. Just stop. Will Ospreay, long-term booking starts with Will Ospreay. I need to see fucking focus, consistency, and vision when Will Ospreay hits the fucking full-time here. If we don't, the fuck you bringing him in for? To get fucking dream matches out of him? You're going to get the dream matches. You know what's going to make the dream matches more important and more interesting? Story. Why can't he do both? It's like getting fucking ice cream and then not wanting chocolate chips as a topping, or a cherry, or sprinkles, or fucking crumbled Oreo, whatever the fuck you guys want. You want boring ice cream? Or do you want to spice it up a little bit?
Was it Brian Keith? Is it the Bounty Hunter? That Brian Keith Lee Moriarty? Which one?
Who?
I think that's the Bounty Hunter. Right?
Somebody should plan a bounty on fucking Tony Khan's creative team. Where the fuck are they? Seriously. I don't give a shit who Malachi wrestles. He's gone when his contract is up. You don't think he's going back to his wife who just signed a new deal?
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. And he's taking Buddy Matthews with him.
And Ricky Starks.
They're
going to go skipping hand in hand right back to the E, man.
Holy shit. You guys got to get with the fucking program. Really.
They're going to carpool karaoke right down to Stanford, bro.
Here's more complaining. Orange Cassidy, Nick Wayne, International Championship match. Jesus fucking Christ, Tony. What are you doing, bro?
What are you
doing? Jesse, please tell them one way how to fix this fucking match without making the goddamn rankings seem like a useless piece of fucking garbage.
So, whatever intention...
I got to go get a liquid death. Go ahead.
Yeah, all right, yeah. So, whatever creative intentions that TK had for this match, whatever it was, whatever the outcome or whatever, in-match storyline they may have going on, I don't understand, and no one here understands, why it had to be a title match. You just could have done this match and had it be a non-title match. What would have changed? You could have done the entire angle, the whole segment, the whole match, and everything in between, and just made it a non-title match. And you could have had commentary go on and say, well, this is a non-title match because the ranking system does not depict Nick Wayne as a number one contender. But but Orange wanted to have this match, or whatever the fucking case may be of why the match wanted to happen. It just doesn't need to be a title match, and it's not going to be because you need to respect the ranking system. Man, that puts so much emphasis on what the importance is of the ranking system. But when you do it like this, it just says, fuck the ranking system. Title match, go. You don't want to do that, man. When
was the last time Nick Wayne wrestled? Let's go to cage match. We're gonna figure it out.
Not that long ago, I feel like.
Nick Wayne?
I think so.
Let's see. We're gonna type in Nick Wayne. We're gonna go to Tony Khan's favorite website, man. Nick Wayne. Let's see the last time he wrestled a match. There he is. from Seattle, Washington. He's got a 7.05 rating on Cage Match. Not bad. He wrestled. The last time he wrestled was on Collision. The 3rd of February, Danny Garcia and FTR defeated the Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Killswitch, and Nick Wayne. It wasn't a singles match. His last singles match was on the Jericho Cruise against Colt Cabana.
Oh, my God.
His last singles match in AEW was against Dalton Castle on November 10th, 2023 on Collision. You ain't getting anything past me, man, when I got fucking Cage Match at my fingertips. What did Nick Wayne do to get a fucking international championship match? Oh, but it's an open challenge. All right, let me go around and fucking stamp this one on top of that reason. Why is Orange Cassidy giving an open challenge 2 days before the pay-per-view against somebody that doesn't deserve it when his eyes should be on Roderick Strong, who is a part of the Undisputed Kingdom, who left this guy a bloody fucking mess 2 weeks ago? Why do you want to defend your title so that you potentially lose it and then don't get the match against the guy that's targeted you and you targeted him on Sunday? I don't know. Either Orange Cassidy's a fucking idiot or Tony Khan has lost his fucking mind. Which one is it?
I don't get this at all. You completely undermine everything that you want to do with this ranking system by just catapulting someone to the top and giving them a title match. You literally just undermine everything that you intended to build with this ranking system. And it just can't be just circumvented by the champion saying, well, I want to do an open challenge. You don't get to do that. We have a ranking system. You're the champion. You want a match? We'll give you the fucking match. Who you want a match against? It's a non-title match, but you can have whatever fucking match you want. Everyone else has to go through the ranking system for a title shot. Easy. Fucking easy. Plus, you advertised Orange Cassidy versus Roddy at the pay-per-view. You gave us very little build, but you did advertise it. So why would we believe that Nick Wayne is going to become champion fucking 4 days before the pay-per-view?
The match with Roddy was made 6 weeks ago.
Oh, my God.
What are we doing? Yeah, we don't have Tony Storm and Daniel Perrazzo on the fucking show, but we got this garbage. Here's another one for you, TK. What is with the open challenge? You do realize that the open challenge should be used to, I don't know, present a debut, a new signing, an actual surprise. Yeah, Orange Cassidy's got an open challenge against Nick Wayne.
That just says we randomly booked a match with Orange Cassidy and Nick Wayne.
The reason why John Cena's open challenge for the United States title works so well, and it's a fond memory of mine on Monday Night Raw while he was at one of the best moments of his career with that United States titles, because you never know who or never knew who was going to show up. Look at the guys he wrestled in that fucking United States Open Challenge. Adrian Neville, Pac. Where the fuck is he? I don't know. Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Kevin Owens. I mean, an open challenge means surprise. Someone that is in developmental, someone that's not in the company. I mean, if you brought Matt Cardona in to do an open challenge, that's an open challenge, not Nick fucking Wayne.
That's an open challenge. I'll even go further. It's an open challenge. It's an open challenge to someone not in the company, but it's still not a title match. Well, how's it an open challenge if it's not a title match? Because if you win, then you get an AEW contract, but you still got to go through the fucking ranking system because the ranking system is here. All right? You lose, it's back to the indies where you belong. If you beat this champion, we'll give you a graphic.
How many concepts has this company killed? Open challenge is dead. It's a dead concept. I don't want to see it again. Unless you're going to do an actual surprise, I don't want to see it again. Tournaments? I love a tournament, but how many fucking tournaments are we going to do? Seriously. What else have they killed? Battle Royals? Forget about it. I mean, AEW Battle Royals are the fucking drizzling shits. I don't want to see another Battle Royal ever. Lumberjack match, whatever the fuck they do, get rid of it. Stop. An open challenge is a dead concept. I can't fucking wait. There's one thing I'm looking forward to most outside Will Ospreay and Takeshita is Orange Cassidy losing this fucking title. So Roddy takes a shit on the fucking open challenge. No more. No more.
Roddy's open challenge will have one.
Yeah, I gotta see TK book a heel and Roddy do an open challenge. The heel shouldn't want to defend the fucking title.
He's a cowardly heel too, so it makes sense, man. Yeah.
Stop. Fucking rankings mean shit. What do they mean? Nick Wayne. He hasn't got one singles win all fucking year, and you're giving him a championship match. Yeah, fuck your rankings, basically, is what Tony Khan's saying. Oh, but the champions don't have individual rankings. Great! You just pinpointed the overwhelming fucking problem with AEW's ranking system. Congratulations. Now go fix it. Nick Wayne developed wins, accumulated wins, and each champion had a ranking, and Nick Wayne was in the fucking international rankings, then maybe I won't be sitting here for 5 minutes fucking ranting on how this match doesn't make sense and why it shouldn't have happened on the show. Any other questions?
No.
Who are you gonna hear this type of criticism from? You're gonna hear from Feifel? You're gonna hear from Steven Larson? Huh? Who else? No IQ? Who else reviews this fucking show? Salamonster may bring it up because he's not a fucking idiot.
Shout out to Salamonster.
Shout out to Jason. I'll see him on Saturday at Hog. Yeah, man, we got some great shit. We got some great man. Danhausen's coming to Hog, man. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I see you didn't send me that text. I didn't know that one. Are you ashamed of that one there, buddy?
Well, he's got me blocked, man. He's gonna fucking curse me on Saturday. I may come here looking all disfigured on fucking Wednesday next week, man.
Wait, Danhausen blocked you?
Danhausen's got me blocked. I don't know what the fuck I said about Danhausen, but take that one.
What the hell for?
I don't know. Out of all the guys on this roster, Danhausen blocked me. He's not even on fucking TV. What the fuck did we say about him?
Wait, now that I think about it, I don't remember seeing any Danhausen tweets in a while. Hold on.
I guarantee you blocked me. I guarantee it.
No, I'm good. I'm following.
All right.
Yeah. Whew, I'm good.
Maybe he doesn't show up in your recommended. Well, you're never on there anyway, so who the fuck?
Yeah, I'm never here. That's true too. I'm probably on Twitter about 2 to 3 times a week, and this is one of the days that I'm on right here. Right now.
We got the great Mustafa Ali on Saturday.
It's Mustafa,
whatever.
And he's bringing his campaign.
Yes.
To House of Glory.
And he's wrestling. Man. I think he's wrestling Alex Shelley.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
4.5 stars. Easily.
Gonna be great. Anyway, it's gonna be on. We're now on Fight TV, by the way. We're not with Premier Network anymore, or Triller TV, whatever the fuck they're calling themselves now.
Yeah, Triller. Is that the main event? I mean, I'll do it.
No, the main event is my guy Santana defending the title against Penta El Zero Miedo.
Santana's champion?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he beat Cardona.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway, Nick Wayne, did he win the championship? No, he didn't.
He didn't
win the fucking championship. Why would he? He's got a match with Roderick Strong on Sunday. So we'll pick it up after the commercial break. Cassidy countered Wayne and landed a tornado DDT.
Or, wait a minute. Or, this idea is still bad, but it's still better than just randomly giving Nick Wayne a title shot. Title match with Nick Wayne. If he wins, then we'll add him to the card as a triple threat. Now, it doesn't mean that needs to play out, but it still holds the credibility of your fucking ranking system because he didn't get a title match. He got an opportunity, a wild card, a lucky fucking shot to get added to the pay-per-view match. Then he failed. Anything would have been better than just giving away title matches when you have an existing ranking system.
Annette Harris in the chat, please make these two have to hold and keep a real job. Shut the fuck up. Well, I'll tell you what, Annette. I made this into a real life job, a full-time job for the last 7 years. Why don't you go shut the fuck up and take a seat on the fucking bench? Okay? Thank you for coming. This is a real full-time job, and you're in my fucking stream watching me. It ain't the other way around.
How much do you make a year? Who is it, Annette?
Yeah, how much do you make a year, Annette? I don't know. Let's take a ride in my dark horse and let's figure it out. Fucking ridiculous. These AEW elitists, man. Go Google it. You can't say anything bad about the fucking company, otherwise you're not a fan. I'm sorry. I love the company. I'm wearing a fucking hoodie. I spend money on merchandise. Fucking ridiculous.
They waited how many weeks to get that
4 weeks they waited to say that comment.
And now they can't say shit again.
Anyway, tornado DDT. Cassidy stood up. Wayne mocked him with some slow-mo kicks because Cassidy does the slow-motion kicks. Cassidy stood up and kicked him in the chin. Wayne went down. Cassidy delivered his slow-mo kicks. Cassidy landed a running penalty kick and then went for the orange punch, but Wayne ducked. Cassidy came right back with a beach break for a very close near fall. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett show up. Wayne gave Cassidy a dragon suplex for a near fall. Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta showed up at ringside to take care of Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Wayne, while the referee was obviously preoccupied with the chaos on the outside, yanked a turnbuckle pad off the corner. Danny Garcia then showed up, waved his finger at him like, you can't do that. And then Cassidy surprised Wayne when he turns around with an orange punch for the 1, 2, 3. Roderick Strong attacked Cassidy after the match. Trent Beretta showed up to help clear the ring of the Undisputed Era. Kingdom.
Better than the United Kingdom.
Shit. Fucking dead to rights as the Undisputed Kingdom, man. Where the fuck is Adam Cole, huh?
Oh, maybe he got tired of traveling and doing nothing. He said, I'm just fucking staying home.
I'm staying home and playing Halo on Twitch. Fuck you guys.
Fuck that. I mean, my girl is here. I got a dentist at home to make sure my teeth are in order.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay home and fucking recover. Why am I flying halfway across the country to go do commentary for 2 minutes and then go back home?
I don't know. Good. Stay home. It's better than showing up and doing this fucking garbage. Renee interviewed the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Jay White says he wasn't sure about them, but after Saturday, he's now on board. Sure thing, guy. They gave each other a hard time. They agreed on a match with the Acclaimed and Austin Gunn for Saturday's Collision. There you go. Will I be watching on Saturday night? No, it's a tape show. Fuck off. Chris Statlander. She wrestled Sky Blue one-on-one. I had some geek tell me today that Maxine Dupree is a better wrestler than Sky Blue. Clearly, they're not watching the show.
No. Maxine Dupree.
Yeah.
No.
You know who she is?
Yeah, I think so, but
She's with Gable and the Alpha Academy.
Yeah, I don't remember her being an actual wrestler.
No, she's not. She's a valet.
Okay.
Who can't wrestle.
I'm not trying to say Sky Blue is 5-star material, but at least she's a wrestler.
Is Final Fantasy VII out already? I thought it came out on Friday.
I know. I'll find out for you.
Because if it's out, I'm buying it, and then I'm going to play the first hour after the stream is over.
Let's see.
I've been told I have to buy Hell Divers too as well. I don't know, man. It's a lot of people are like, oh, you like Destiny, you should go buy Hell Divers. I mean,
No. I get suckered into Destiny. I'm not getting suckered into another fucking company.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Wait a minute. No, the 29th, guys. Come on, man.
No.
You can't fuck with me like that, man.
No, it's not. No.
It's not out now.
29th, bro.
It is the 29th.
Tomorrow. Well, yeah, for you, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's midnight. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you should have it.
Get out of here.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man. All right. Let's finish this stream. Chris Statlander for Sky Blue. I love Sky Blue. I think Sky Blue is great. She's awesome.
Sky.
She's gotten so much better, man. Honestly.
She has gotten better. So she's gotten better from her dark days and things like that. I don't want to say that she's improved at the scale of that Julia Hart did and everything else. I feel like her journey's taking a little bit longer. I'm just being honest here, but she is getting up there though. She is doing better. There's improvement, which is already better than you can, say for a lot of the people out there. So she is improving. I don't think she's doing it at like, oh my God, best, best recovery. I mean, she's not gonna win any awards for it, but she's getting better. I think she's working with the right people, and more importantly, she's working on her gimmick and her charisma. That was her biggest flaw.
Yeah,
that was her biggest flaw, and that has gotten better. So I don't see Sky Blue winning like most improved, but she is definitely on a upward trajectory rather than a stagnant or even worse going downhill.
Yeah, you know what I noticed about Sky Blue? Not only that she wrestles physically, she throws her body around in there. She doesn't. She's not afraid to get dirty. Okay, the one thing I like about her is that I see a difference in her overall confidence, her mannerisms, the way she kind of looks into the camera, the way she has this newfound confidence. I see all that. And that easily just jumps through the television screen. That wasn't happening under the old gimmick. It's happening under this new darker gimmick. And I very much like what she's doing. In fact, I would actually belt her, and I will put the TBS title on her, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know about all that one just yet, but
what is Julia doing?
Dude, Julia was coming off of a mild injury right now. That's why she is been out of the ring as a.
You're frozen, by the way.
No, why am I frozen?
Your camera's frozen. I'm going to get through this match here. Stokely was out there with Willow in Statlander's corner. They battled back and forth here. Sky landed a Canadian Destroyer sidekick, small package for a 2 count. They battled back and forth. Statlander showed frustration with not being able to finish Sky. Stokely then offered Statlander a chain to use as a weapon. Stat wasn't interested, so that might play into their story there. Willow told her not to use it. With the ref's attention on Stokely, Julia hit Statlander in the face with a belt because the referee had her back turned. Sky then landed code blue for the 1-2-3. How does that play into the overall story here with Stokely trying to get Stat to cheat, Jesse, but both Willow and Stat didn't want to cheat?
So I think it's going to come, and again, like I said before, I think this is going to lead us to a Statlander heel turn, and right now I'm craving that. That sounds fantastic right about now.
Yeah.
I think at some point, Stat is going to embrace the cheating tactic of Stokely to the disappointment and frustration of Willow, and that'll cause the separation, and I think we get a full turn and an attack on Willow, orchestrated by Stokely. That feels like the natural progression of it, and if it does go that way, that makes sense. I do like it. I can easily see a heel Statlander being managed by Stokely, with Willow being the first feud, easily, and I'm hoping it goes that way. I think that'll be a very, very productive path for all parties involved.
Yeah, I think I like what I see coming out of both of these ladies. I've always liked Stat, but Sky Blue,
yeah,
nicely done, man. She's coming along. Jericho wrestled Atlantis Jr., and they went 12 minutes. I mean, honestly, guys, I'm being upfront and honest. I don't fucking care. I don't. Tony Khan may have jerked off to this match in the back while watching this on the fucking monitor. I don't care. I really don't care. And what does Jericho gain by winning this match? What does he do? Where does he move? Where does he move on to?
That was just 12 minutes?
12 minutes, yeah.
I thought it was like damn near a half hour, man.
Yeah, 12 minutes. I mean, this, like I said earlier, we ranted about this. This seems more fitting for Forbidden Door. So if CMLL is going to have a presence at Forbidden Door, why are we not doing this there? So Forbidden Door is not so forbidden anymore.
Nah.
And who booked this match? Jericho said he wanted this match, and he asked for this match, and he got his match. So who's booking the fucking show? Is it Jericho or Tony Khan? We got other things that are happening on Sunday night. No, but Jericho wrestling fucking 5-Star Hotel Jr. here is more important. Great. This guy's father was out there. The one thing I did, does anybody know what Jericho's theme music was? It sounded like White Zombie.
Oh,
It sounded like White Zombie. Somebody tell me what the theme music was. He came out as Lionheart, Chris Jericho. They cut to a double picture-in-picture here. Jericho countered and sent Junior into some ring steps on the outside with a pair of head scissors. Jericho and Junior come back from break. They're on the top rope. Jericho leapt and drove Atlantis and his head into the mat. And we got Jericho here hitting a snap power slam for a 2 count. So they hyped up some unseen footage of Sting during this match that are going to be showcased on Collision or Rampage, one of the shows. So Jericho is down, both double down. They get back up. They fight back and forth for a couple minutes. Jericho puts in a Walls of Jericho on Atlantis Jr. and Atlantis Sr. Basically took a page out of the Owen Hart 1994 Survivor Series playbook with Brett and Bob Backlund and threw in the towel. And Jericho wins via throwing in of the towel by Atlantis Sr. on Atlantis Jr.
Wait, he threw in a towel for the win?
Yeah.
That was just a no surrender. That was just a match on TNA at the pay-per-view, the no surrender match.
I'm sorry. Maybe I should just Google it. Electric Head Part 2, White Zombie. Thank you, Hollywood Eric. See, I don't need Google when I got Hollywood Eric. I mean, how many more of these guys are we going to get? I mean, who's next? 3-Star Hotel Jr.? Who's next in Mexico? Who? Then you want to know why I don't get invited to the scrums anymore.
Yeah, really. Jeez.
Tony Khan don't want none of this in the scrums, man. He wants, you know who.
Don't do it.
You know who.
We all know who.
You all know. You all know who it is, man. Seriously, I don't need to mention. You know who. The Positivity Brigade, man. That's what they want over there. Oh, man, Tony. Fuck out of here. See, Genius, I'm good. I didn't say nothing. God, I gotta get the fuck out of here, man. Give me some Sephiroth, really. What else happened on this show? Let me see.
I'm glad I'm not the only one trying to talk sense into this fucking guy, man.
The Young Bucks, they made their entrance. They got in the face of some fans in the front row in Sting masks. One of them was Darby. By the way, I forgot to mention, there was a backstage segment where the Young Bucks walked into Sting's not hotel room. I got fucking hotels on my mind with Atlantis Jr. They walked into Sting's dressing room, and they walked in and was this red lighting, and they had baseball bats hanging from the ceiling as they walked into the dressing room. It was nothing but baseball bats hanging upside down in the dressing room. Now, this is a throwback, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. This is a throwback to Sting's last promo in WCW, where he cut a promo, and the same image of those upside-down baseball bats were hanging, and he was walking through them. So Sting obviously playing mind games with the Young Bucks, and that was that. He was not in the dressing room. So they come out, and they start picking a fight with some front-row marks wearing Sting masks. One of them was Darby. He went right after Matthew. Nicholas then kicked Darby. They double-teamed Darby in the ring with a bat. They hit Darby with the Tony, what do they call it? The EVP trigger. Then they call it the Tony Khan driver, I believe.
Tony Khan driver.
Yeah. Matt jabbed Darby with the bat in the midsection. Ric Flair's music hits. He comes out. He's smiling, proud of what the Bucks are doing. So nobody knew where his allegiance was here. Matthew handed a bat to Flair. He wound up and then poked Nicholas in the eyes and then punched Matt. He threw some chops in there. Very innocent by Flair, but we don't need it. Nicholas then gave Flair a low blow from behind. Flair collapsed. They stomped away at Flair until Sting's music played. The Bucks walk up the ramp with bats in their hand, waiting for Sting to come out via gorilla. And instead, he lowered himself from the rafters in the Crow Sting outfit. He helped Darby up. The Bucks turned around. They looked scared. Sting blocked their baseball bats with his baseball bat and bashed them with his bat. Crowd started chanting, "Holy shit." Darby leapt off the top rope with the coffin drop onto the Bucks. And Sting and Darby, they stand tall in the close of AEW Dynamite here on the way to Revolution, where they will defend the tag team titles against Nicholas and Matthew Jackson. I thought the closing segment was great. I thought the visuals of this feud that they've built between the two teams has been great. The bloody white suits with the Young Bucks, the hanging baseball bats, the throwback to Sting's WCW promo, and then him lowering himself from the rafters, Jesse, with the Crow Sting entrance. I think they basically nailed everything in this feud so far. And I'm very excited about that main event match on Sunday.
They did. It felt like vintage Sting. I mean, it was. I'm under the assumption, and I'm hoping that everything that we're getting in this build up to his last match is everything that that Sting wanted.
Yeah.
Because he deserves it. He deserves to go out the way that he wants. We've said before that it's tradition, if you're going to be leaving the business officially, you're supposed to go out looking at the lights. But that does not hold true for certain people. It didn't hold true for the Undertaker, and I think Steve Borden fits into that category as well. So he deserves to go out any way he fucking wants. So you will not hear a complaint from me about any way that this goes down between now and Sunday.
Yeah. I'm excited for this. I think Revolution is going to be a great show. Revolution has the aura of always being a top A grade level pay-per-view for AEW. And Sunday's show looks no different. And I'm very excited about what they got planned on Sunday, even though we rant and complain about several things that don't make any sense, because we are a podcast with logic and we have questions and we love raising the discussion. But Sunday, no matter what, is looking very good. So thank you guys very much for all your support. We appreciate you joining us on this Wednesday night. We're going to get into your super chats in just a minute. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Follow Jesse at Chi-Town Smark on X. Make sure you guys click Jesse's name at the top of the description. It'll take you right to his YouTube channel. Go hit that subscribe button over there. Go Google it, t-shirts. We got them on sale now exclusively on bonfire.com. Go and get yours today. I would love to have the goal of 50 met for them, man. So go and get yours today. Make sure you guys go hit that subscribe button on my channel. Turn on the bell for notifications and go check out all the other content on the channel. There's plenty of it. And if you guys are on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and any other audio platform, I would love if on Spotify and iTunes you guys leave a 5-star rating. Shout out to my audio platform listeners. Love you. This show should be up immediately after this show is over. So go leave a rating over there. It helps me out in the algorithm over there, because I'd love to maintain my distance from Cody. Anyway, moving on.
Try telling you.
Who? What?
Evil genius, try telling you too.
Whatever. Michael Krause with the $2 super chat. Good Wednesday, JD. Jesse, I hope you had a good day. It could be better, man. The week has been kind of rough. Last couple weeks have been rough, but thank you, Michael. Platinum Matt with a 4 months. If AEW were to have a draft to split the roster between Dynamite and Collision, who would be your first 5 picks selected if you were drafting? If I had... I don't know. It's tough to say because I need somebody else to play off of. But my personal number 1 pick, if he was not picked already, would be MJF. And if MJF was picked, I'd probably go with Will Ospreay.
Yeah, I go with MJF.
Yeah. Mohammed with a $2 super chat. JD, did you hear about Sean Spears on NXT? Yes, Mohammed. I heard about Sean Spears on NXT. Thank you. The internet wrestling community also ruined that as well, because tribalism was in full effect. Oh, but he's a garbage wrestler. Tony's bringing in Mercedes and Ospreay and Okada. Triple H is in the mud, man. Yeah, okay, great. Please tell me that you have no friends without telling me you have no friends. Dom Wappa with a $1.99. So are we not allowed to boo anymore in wrestling? No, Dom, you're not.
Yeah, apparently not.
No, I listen, man. I commend the WWE women's locker room for coming to the defense of Maxine Dupree. But if they think that we are not allowed to spend money and boo something on their show, I mean, they're out of their fucking mind. The guy was not sexual in any way. He was not explicit. He was not derogatory. All he said was, Maxine, you suck. Genius.
According to Triple H, Paul Levesque himself, if the crowd is booing you or cheering you, They don't fucking care.
No.
As long as it's a reaction. That's all they want. It's better than getting nothing. And this guy chose to boo, and then people got all bent out of shape about it.
Genius, weren't we at a Mets game last year, bro? And we sat in your season seats, and the guy behind us, that one game that we went to, was yelling, Matt Olson, you suck! All game. All game. 9 innings of Matt Olson sucks. The Braves first baseman. What are you, fucking out of your mind?
But think about that. A wrestling fan is at a wrestling show booing a wrestler. Someone records it, puts it on the internet, and they get mad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't understand this. I don't understand it.
All the people telling you that Maxine shouldn't be in a wrestling ring because she's green as a fucking dollar bill, it's the same reason why we all said Jade should be in the fucking Performance Center. What's the difference? Put her in the PC. You have a world-class facility with some of the best coaches in the fucking industry, and you got her on fucking house shows wrestling Nia Jax, learning on the fly by herself. If Nia Jax is the fucking person you're gonna get to teach her, I think we're in some deep shit.
Wow.
My God, man. Fucking IW, I hate, and I stress the word hate. I don't use that word a lot. I hate the community, man. So soft. Pussies. All of them. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley got all bent out of shape about it. Again, how dare a wrestling fan boo a wrestler?
I guarantee you, every single one of you that looked at Maxine's in-ring performance has privately said to someone that you know that she sucks. But you want a white knight on social media for engagement. Dom, thank you, brother. Tony Brown with a $4.99. Sky Blue deserves a booty meat hickey. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
No, that's inappropriate. That's inappropriate.
Tony Brown, thank you, brother. Billy with a 19 months and a $100 super chat. He says, JD and Jesse, the best in the IWC Revolution. Can't wait. Sting's final match. Been a fan since 1988. Absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to it, and thank you for the $100 super chat. Luis Rodriguez with a $4.99. Just lit up a cigar, had Dynamite on at the cigar lounge, wasn't really paying attention. Busy night, but I'm paying attention to you guys. Thank you, brother. Thomas Franco, thank you. M. Billy for the $100 super chats. Lewis, thank you for the $1.99. J. Ray, 10. Hey, JD and Jesse, I saw your tweet on X about AEW's ranking system, so I did some research for you. It's confirmed that the ranking system is only for the AEW Championship, not the other titles. J. Ray, thank you for pinpointing their overwhelming problem to the ranking system.
Messed up that a fan has to tell us this.
Isaac with a $9.99. Hello from the arena. Your show is better than Collision. Oh, my goodness. Had my Google it sign held high. Something pretty cool was... They had a table set up where you could write letters to Sting, most memorable moments. That's pretty fucking cool. There's one thing that Tony Khan's doing right. It's this Sting final farewell, for sure. I wonder if that Google it sign's going to make it. We'll see. The last time I had somebody tell me they brought an OTS sign to an AEW show, they confiscated it. I wonder why. James Bryan with a $5 super chat. I'm getting that shirt, and good job, guys. Thank you, James. Jason with a $20 super chat. Jason Barker. I got hate today for the Google shit about CMLL guys and New Japan guys getting rented out for random matches on Dynamite and Collision. Tired of AEW fans eating what AEW gives them without asking questions. Jason, we can't ask questions to the AEW faithful, bro.
Nope.
It's not allowed. They eat the slop Tony Khan gives them, and they enjoy it. Meanwhile, they don't realize that I did this for years with WWE, and they eventually changed. Now I'm doing the same thing with AEW, man. AEW is not immune to the wrath. Stop. Edward with a $4.99. Great job, JD Jesse, giving us the hard truths. The geeks and the haters asking what truth. Just got to tell them. Go Google it.
Go Google it.
G2G Corey with a 5. Can I get a, I just did it. Go Google it. Much love to you, JD and Jesse. God bless. Thank you, Corey. Gary Sphere with a 10. What's up, Gary? Not to sound like that guy, but you guys clearly aren't fans of the product anymore, so why watch? Everything AEW does is under a microscope and nitpick like crazy since Triple H took over WWE. Gary, I don't believe I have to explain this to you. It's not because Triple H took over creative. The WWE product was under a microscope when Vince was there. It's still under a microscope with Triple H in charge. But Triple H has made WWE better, which apparently people are not picking up on. AEW has floundered since Triple H took over. That is not me saying it. It's just legit fact. They haven't been the same. I've been sitting next to this guy on this show for 5 fucking years. You think he'd tell me that they weren't changed? They are. He knows just as good as I do. This is 2 people telling you, not just me.
What's the guy's name?
Gary Sphere.
Gary, a fan is someone who sticks around through thick and thin. A fair weather fan is one who jumps ship when shit is not going the way that they like.
Absolutely. 1,000%. Jesse's 100% correct. If I wasn't a fan of this shit, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd say fuck Dynamite. I'm not covering it. But you know what? I was a fan of WWE no matter how much hatred I gave them on a weekly basis. You want to know why? Because I knew when Triple H eventually took over and when Vince croaked or was removed in some way, that things would get better. You can't enjoy it. I wouldn't enjoy the product the way I do now if I left when Vince was there and all of a sudden came back. I had to sit through the garbage we got weekly for years and fucking feel depressed as a motherfucker to come out on the other end and see how things are now better without him there. That's why I stayed. And that's what I'm doing with AEW now. If you don't understand that, Gary, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's called being a fan. Everyone here does it. If you have a favorite team, in any sport, anywhere, that team does not win championships every damn season. And more than likely, if you're like me, your favorite team probably had some bad seasons. Now, when your team has a bad season, do you say, well, I'm done with this team, I'm going to go find a team that wins? Or do you voice your frustrations and then hope that next year your team gets better? Because that's what the most of us do because we're not fair weather fans.
My guy Genius is a Mets fan. He's got season tickets. They spent over $350 million in 2023. He's still a Mets fan after a disastrous season. Drew is a Mets fan. He's also a Jets fan. Aaron Rodgers went down on game 1. Did he give up the rest of the season and not watch a fucking game? No, he sat through 18 weeks and watched every fucking Jets game in the comfort of his own home. You know why I wear this Atlanta Braves hat when they won the World Series in 2021? Because of years of disappointment. Do you want to know where I'll remember until the day I die where I was when I watched them win that game against the Astros? I fucking cried. I was so happy. Finally, I didn't think they would win a fucking World Series as long as I was alive anymore. They won it. Stop.
When your favorite team wins, when they finally get that big one, the feeling is that much better because you were there through thick and thin, through all of the bullshit, through all of the stupid drafts, through all of the dumb trades, through all of the dumb releases. Finally, your team wins a world title, and you were there for it. You feel like you've earned that just as much. Now, how would you feel if your favorite team sucks for a year or two, you bail and go find a different favorite team, and then your former favorite team wins a fucking championship? You want to go running back and say, whoo, yeah, I was a fan the whole time.
Yeah.
You got to stay with the thick and thin. Right now, this is the hard part of being an AEW fan. But the hard part for them is we're going to give them the constructive criticism to help them get better. All right? And then when they do get better, we'll be sitting right here singing their praises like we did when they first came about and when they had praises to be singing. We were right here singing them, being called AEW shills. And now that we don't like the product they're producing, now we're called AEW haters.
Come on, Gary, you know better than that, brother. You've been to meet and greets with Jesse and I met you in Schaumburg. Come on, man. That's just a ridiculous comment. A ridiculous comment. It sounds like you're not a fan of the show anymore because we're not spitting out the positivity that you would want from people that enjoy AEW. Or maybe you don't like hearing harsh criticisms of the things that you like. There are other shows like that, Gary, that are going to do that for you, that are not going to be critical and not going to call out the bullshit that we call out, that they'll sweep under the rug. I can name them off right here. I named a few of them before. Stop. I take that as a disrespectful slap in the face, man. That tells me that I'm not doing a good job, and I know for a fucking fact I'm doing a good job. And so is Jesse.
Here's an example. For years, fucking a decade and a half, I've been sitting here talking about how bad WWE was. I'm tired of it. It's just boring. It's this, it's that. It's bad booking. It's shitty. It's raunchy. I don't like it no more. To the point where I finally gave up and stopped watching it. Now, I barely talk about it at all because I gave up on it. See, that's the thing AEW needs to be worried about. Not the fact that we're talking about it. They need to be worried about the fact that when we stop talking about it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. And at times I want to stop talking about them. You don't think I see the fucking numbers when I tweet out a WWE tweet compared to an AEW tweet? No, the AEW stuff, when I tweet something out, gets no traction anymore. Zero. I almost stopped fucking tweeting about AEW because nobody gives a shit. Because AEW has not given a shit at all. This stream. When I do SmackDown on Friday, we're going to have 4,000 people in here because of, obviously it's WrestleMania season, but things are the way they need to be. I can't even get 2,100 people in here on a Wednesday night, and we're still number one. Solid Monster's not even past 800 people. Fightful can't even break 1,000.
It's across the board.
It's across the board.
Yep.
Gary, thank you, brother. Jason with a 5. And I'm getting told you are being sponsored by the Fed soap opera, man. Yeah, sure thing. They don't watch the fucking show.
I'll be watching WrestleMania.
I know. Everybody's going to be watching WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'll be watching, of course.
David with a 199. Any interest in covering Micro Wrestling Federation? Absolutely not.
What is that? That midget wrestling?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Judgment Day, Mike Harper with a $5 super chat. Bang Bang Scissor Gang is dead. You're not the only one, JD. I don't know why it's a thing, but get it off my TV fast. Also, rankings suck. Do better, TK. Thank you, Judgment Day. Vinny with a 199 and a 199. He says, hashtag free Jay White and hashtag, no more hashtags. Hashtag free Jay White. And then he says, Undisputed Kingdom is the biggest flop ever. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Will Chisholm with a $5 super chat. Ricky, not on TV since he lost the tag team titles. TK must know he's gone. If that's true, that Punk got rid of the rankings. It looks like he was right. Clearly. Ricky Starks is as good as gone, bro.
Big Bill, too. He's a collateral in that one.
I don't know why we're not bringing in Enzo Amore and pairing him with Big Bill. I really don't understand it.
I would definitely give Enzo a shot.
Absolutely.
I would. I think that could go somewhere. If nothing else, it can help do something with your investment in Big Bill.
Yep.
And giving Enzo a big shot on TV, maybe he's matured. Maybe he realizes this is his last big shot, and maybe he can come through. I would call up Enzo, man.
Gary with a 5. Fair response, fellas. All respect. Gary, thank you, number one. Number two, I wish everybody else in the community would see, and hear what Jesse and I had to say, because they just think that we're fucking haters. The people in the company probably think we hate them, that we're not a fan of the product, they can't handle criticism, they won't invite us to the scrums anymore. It is what it is. I've been this way all my career on here, man, with WWE. AEW is not immune to the criticism. They will get it, and they will get it worse than what I said with WWE, because we know exactly how AEW should operate, because we've seen them operate at a high level, and now they're not. Doesn't matter who you bring in. You can bring in fucking 20 Mercedes Monets. It's not going to happen.
Look, man, you can take what we say as a company, and they can do one of two things with it. They can take it and use it as a template or advice to try to change some things, or they can just say we're off our rocker, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, and we're just haters. Now, take what we say and apply it to your metrics. How are your ratings? How are your ticket sales? How is fan interest? How is social media interest? Do they vibe with basically what we've been saying? Then we're probably right on something. Now, if the company's thriving, if you're selling out venues across the fucking country, if you're trending #1 all the fucking time. Your engagement is through the roof, and we're saying you suck. Ignore us, okay? Fucking ignore us. But it seems that our fucking thoughts and opinions are vibing with your statistics, so I suggest you take a listen.
Yep, ratings are down, ticket sales are down, merch sales are down, social media engagements are down across the board for all creators because they don't give a shit about AEW anymore.
Yep.
No, but it's just me. No, JD and his show is negative.
Yep.
Sure thing. Levi Litova with the 17 months. Hey, JD and Jesse, hope you're both well. Sorry for the non-wrestling chat, but I saw Miles Kennedy with Slash last night. What a voice. Miles Kennedy is the best voice in music, bar none. Thank you. I haven't seen them with Slash, but I hope to see them next time they come around for sure. And Mark Tremonti is recording a new album. I just seen Mark Tremonti at the Borgata in Atlantic City a few weeks back. Singing Frank Sinatra was amazing. Unbelievable. Blue Jay with a $2 super chat. I need a JD Chi-Town Drew Triple Threat podcast. I don't know, man. Maybe if Jesse comes up for Forbidden Door, maybe we'll plan something. And Will Chisholm with a $5 super chat. I see AEW going to have a show on night 1 of WrestleMania. They better have Okada and Mercedes wrestling on the show, but why do that anyways? I'm sure that show will be taped, Will, and nobody will be watching the show no matter who's on, because everybody's going to be watching the biggest wrestling show of all time, WrestleMania 40. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to download Final Fantasy VII. Thank you guys very much for all your support. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Follow Jesse at Chi-Town Smart. Follow me at JD from NY206 on X. Make sure you guys go and hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the other content on the channel. And please hit that thumbs up. I know we'll get to 1,000, but continue to hit that thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of tonight's show and AEW Dynamite. Until then, guys, I'll have more content tomorrow, and I'll be back live on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. I'll see you guys then.